She weighs more than a large coin. She has no flotation device, no air bladder, no buoyancy aid of any kind. And yet, she sits on water as comfortably as you sit on solid ground. How? This is a Scottish peat bog. Acid, cold, hostile. And for 14 hours, from the first light of dawn to the last breath of twilight, we are going to watch every creature that lives here and discover the hidden physics that holds this entire world together. But the real question, the one this entire day is building toward, is not how a spider walks on water. It's how a spider flies. "5 a.m., 7:45 a.m. Before the world above stirs, this ancient Scottish peat bog is already breathing. It is a waterlogged wilderness, accumulating soil for 10,000 years since the Younger Dryas glaciers retreated. The air hovers near 6 degrees Celsius, cold enough to suppress insect flight thresholds. The sphagnum moss carpeting this ground is remarkable. Its hyaline cells absorb 20 times its dry weight in water, releasing hydrogen ions from uronic acids to acidify the environment to a pH of 3.5. This single genus engineers the entire ecosystem. Acaribus problematicus ground beetle completes its final nocturnal patrol, 25 millimeters of ridged black armor, whose purple iridescence is structural color, produced by thin film interference in the epicuticular wax. As Sego et al. Demonstrated in 2009, this coloration arises from light waves, reinforcing at specific wavelengths between cuticle layers, separated by distances comparable to visible light wavelengths. The beetle disappears beneath decomposing birch bark. Beneath the dark water, a Nepocinarea water scorpion hangs motionless, breathing through a caudal siphon that pierces the surface tension, like a biological snorkel, a respiratory strategy first described by Thorpe in 1950. And now, in the thin gray light, the sovereign of this liquid frontier appears. Dolomedes fimbriatus, the raft spider, sits on the water. Not in it, on it. Each tarsus bears approximately 2,000 hydrophobic setae coated in waxy cuticle, distributing her 1.5 grams across 16,000 contact points. Each seta bears less than 1.2 milligrams. As Stratton, Suter, and Miller established in their 2004 study of water-walking mechanics, this load remains comfortably below the critical threshold set by surface tension, 72 millinewtons per meter, generated by cohesive hydrogen bonding at the air-water interface. On the moss, a Pardosa polata wolf spider emerges, her anterior median eyes catching the dawn light from the reflective tapetum, a structure Land and Barth confirmed in 1992, provides approximately 10-fold sensitivity enhancement in low light. The first highland midges stir Culicoides impunctatus, wings vibrating at 600 Hz, forming a lek swarm. Each mated female requires a blood meal to develop her clutch of 70 to 100 eggs. In the heather, a Saturnia pavonia emperor moth caterpillar resumes feeding. Its specialized cytochrome P 450 enzymes, the same superfamily Feyerabend described in 2012 as the primary detoxification machinery across insecta, convert the toxic phenolic compounds of Calluna vulgaris into harmless metabolites. But the raft spider is not merely standing. She is listening. Trichobothria, on her leg tibiae mechanoreceptors, mounted in pivot socket joints, described by Barth in 2002 as among the most sensitive biological vibration detectors known, detect capillary waves propagating at 23 centimeters per second across the pool surface. She triangulates the source using the time delay between her widely spaced front legs. Ripples approach. She lowers her body to within 2 millimeters of the water. The strike is imminent. "7:45 a.m., 11:30 a.m., a flash of metallic emerald on bare peat. Cicindela campestris, the green tiger beetle, sprints at a velocity that Gilbert's 1,997 biomechanics analysis calculated at approximately 125 body lengths per second, equivalent to 770 kilometers per hour at human scale. So fast that its ommatidia cannot resolve images during locomotion, the beetle goes temporarily blind at top speed and must freeze to relocate prey visually. Beneath the pool, a Nodonecta glauca backswimmer rose inverted, its reversed countershading placing the dark dorsum downward. A caddisfly larva drags its portable case plant fragments bound with underwater silk, whose protein solidifies through a pH-mediated alpha helix to beta sheet transition. As Stewart and Wang reported in 2010, this caddisfly silk shares the same beta sheet nanocrystals found in spider dragline, yet evolved entirely independently from modified salivary glands, a textbook case of convergent evolution at the molecular level. The water scorpion waits with raptorial forelegs cocked like jackknife blades, another convergent echo of the mantis, the same functional geometry in an unrelated order. Then, the raft spider strikes. She rockets across the water at 50 centimeters per second. Suter and Wildman's 1,999 measurements confirmed this hydroplaning velocity in Dolomites, 4 symmetrical spray fans erupting behind her rear legs. Chelicerral fangs deliver neurotoxic peptides. On the moss bank, she begins external digestion. Regurgitated collagenases and hyaluronidases liquefy the prey tissues, and the pharyngeal pump draws the slurry through the chelicral channel. Nearby, Drosera rotundifolia captures its own midge ruby-red tentacles curving inward in a thigmonastic response, driven by auxin-mediated cell elongation, glands secreting proteases and chitinases. Williams confirmed in 1976 that Drosera absorbs approximately 76% of available nitrogen from each prey item. 2 predators, 1 animal, 1 plant employing external digestion within centimeters of each other. "11:30 a.m., 14:30 p.m. the more falls silent. The caterpillar freezes in cryptic posture, spiracles cycling at 6 breaths per minute. Cicindela campestris stilts on the warm, dark peat. Dryzig's 1980 thermoregulation study showed this behavior creates a 3 mm convective cooling gap, maintaining optimal muscle function near 35 degrees Celsius. The raft spider retreats beneath a heather overhang, front legs still monitoring the water. Remarkably, Bleckmann and Rovner demonstrated in 1984 that Dolomides fimbriatus distinguishes between the regular frequency signature of a surfacing water boatman and the chaotic vibration pattern of struggling prey, selective filtering through neural processing of surface wave information. The peat beneath stores 550 gigatons of carbon globally. Yu et al. Estimated in 2010 that this exceeds twice the carbon held in all forests combined. Methane rises from methanogenic archaea, peatlands releasing 20 to 40 milligrams per square meter per day. A heather beetle hangs inverted, tarsal pads gripping through van der Waals forces. Stork's 1980 work first quantified this adhesion mechanism in Chrysomelidae. The wolf spider rests beside its silk retreat. Duffy's 1978 survey recorded pardosa densities exceeding 100 per square meter on British peatland. Then, the afternoon stirs. The caterpillar resumes. The raft spider crosses between pools, rotating hunting grounds against prey depletion, and settles onto fresh water. .30 p.m., 17:15 p.m. Warm amber light brings renewed intensity. The wolf spider captures a midge. A tandem pair of Analogma cyathigerum damselflies descend the male, gripping the female with cerci to prevent sperm displacement. Wage's landmark 1979 study revealed that the male secondary genitalia actively scoop out rival sperm before depositing his own driving. The evolution of tandem guarding. Her serrated ovipositor cuts slits into a submerged heather stem, depositing eggs within protective tissue. She submerges entirely, breathing from a silvery plastron. When it depletes, the male hauls her back through the surface tension. The raft spider strikes again. Underwater, the water scorpion ambushes a damselfly nymph intragild predation that Polis, Myers, and Holt defined in 1989 as the killing of a potential competitor that is also used as food, a process structuring community dynamics through trophic cascades. Its rostrum injects trypsin-like proteases. External digestion convergently evolved across 3 independent lineages on this single bog. As evening approaches, the ground beetle stirs, olfactory sensilla detecting volatiles at parts per billion. In the heather canopy, the money spiders abandon their webs, chelicerae severing anchor threads. They climb to the highest tips. Barometric shifts detected through lyriform slit organs. Barth and Libera's 1,970 discovery of strain-sensitive mechanoreceptors have triggered the dispersal instinct. The caterpillar curls into its nocturnal posture, gripping a silk safety pad spun from labial glands homologous to the caddisfly's underwater silk. 15 p.m., 19 p.m. The most extraordinary event of this day now begins. A single Linyphiidae money spider, 2.5 millimeters, weighing 1 milligram, stands on tiptoe at a heather apex and raises her abdomen to the sky. The spinnerets release gossamer silk into the cooling breeze. The fiber is spidroin protein, a liquid crystal dope that solidifies through the spinneret duct as shear forces and a pH drop from 7 to 5 trigger the conformational transition from alpha helix to beta sheet nanocrystals, the same self-assembly mechanism. Vollrath and Knight characterized in 2001 as one of the most efficient energy-to-material conversion processes in biology. Tensile strength, 1.1 gigapascals, stronger than steel by weight. The thread catches the wind and floats upward, glowing golden in the last amber light. This is the phenomenon of ballooning spiders, and the physics are astonishing. In 2018, Morley and Robert at the University of Bristol published definitive evidence in Current Biology that spiders launch even in zero-wind conditions. Lifted by electrostatic repulsion between negatively charged silk and the Earth's atmospheric electric field, a potential gradient of 100 to 300 volts per meter near the ground surface that increases with altitude, providing progressive lift. The tarsal claws release. She rises a living organism using physics to fly without wings. Across the moor, dozens join her. Golden threads radiate upward from the heather like the strings of invisible harps. Linyphiidae densities on British moorland reach 500 per square meter. Thomas and Jepson's 1,999 aerial sampling estimated several million individual ballooning spiders aloft over Britain at any given time during favorable conditions. Some reach altitudes above 4 kilometers. Some travel 1,600 kilometers. Darwin recorded them landing on HMS Beagle, 100 kilometers from shore. Gilbert White attributed the angel hair to spiders in 1776. Below, the raft spider exits the water for the last time. The dimples smooth away. The surface tension returns to equilibrium, 72 millinewtons per meter, holding nothing now but itself. She settles into moss, abdomen distended with tri-acyl glycerol reserves. Dolomites fimbriatus, classified nationally scarce in Britain, with fewer than 100 confirmed breeding sites. The two stars share one final frame: the ascending money spider, trailing gold above, the raft spider, resting below. One flies, one stays. Dispersal plasticity versus territorial fidelity. Two evolutionary answers to survival on a fragmented landscape. The ground beetle patrols in darkness, compound eyes detecting movement at 0.001 lux. The midge drone dissolves below the 1 lux contrast threshold. The gossamer threads detach and drift away. Then the first blue-gray light returns at the eastern horizon. A dew droplet forms on a sphagnum moss tip, the landscape visible inverted within it at refractive index 1.33. By morning, the raft spider will return to the water. The midges will rise, and somewhere far from here, a tiny spider will land on a leaf it has never touched and begin to spin. The cycle is unbroken. 10,000 years, the bog breathes on. The money spiders are gone, carried by wind and electricity to a place they have never been. But not every spider needs silk to hunt. Some build traps so precise, so perfectly engineered, that they put human architecture to shame. The funnel, the trap door, the underwater diving bell. That story begins in a very different kind of darkness.